It's a beautiful country with beautiful, kind, wonderful, loving people who have a tendency to talk with their hands all the time. If you think I'm animated, you ought to see what they do. The hand gestures mean a lot. Well, do you need to... Okay. So hand gestures mean a lot in Italian. For instance, that's I don't care. Or that would be no. Doing this kind of gesture is sort of a pleading, placating gesture. This is frequently done to mean exactly. Or there would be this gesture, which means skillful. If you're wondering where that one comes from, a lot of these actually come from the mafia. This is, kind of watch yourself. He's good with a knife. Or that would be, he's so good with his knife he could shave with it without looking.
The way we should look at it is just how it is that you can show that you care about them, because it's different than how you show people you care about them here. You don't act the same to them because they won't understand. Probably the biggest things is that you have to respect the way their culture has been established over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. They're such an old people that there are things that you have to adapt to. The way they work and the way they think, which is kind of hard. Italians take their time doing things. They don't mind standing and talking, or they don't mind. They have so many holidays in their work schedules. There are a lot of days that you won't be able to work just because of the holidays, and it might bug you, but respecting those days or even knowing when they're coming is just like it's impressive to them. Also making connections. Okay, so Italy was built around a Catholic mentality. It is, the Pope's there. It's as Catholic as you can get, but at the same time, it's not. Catholicism made the country and has run the country for so many years. Till today, they're still very active today. But most of the people have lost faith in Catholicism, unfortunately. Which I say unfortunately because Catholicism still brings a lot of really good habits that could help us relate to what we know is true. But at the same time, unfortunately, they've lost faith because of only certain things that you hear about in Italy, not anywhere else in the world about Catholicism. The Pope and the Catholic Church is really, really involved in the government in Italy. And because of it, many decisions have been swayed at times. Or maybe the Catholic Church has done things that have been kind of hurtful to the people under the leadership, unfortunately, that has lost their trust. And so a lot of them are confused, but all they know is Catholic. And so one really good way to really understand their culture is to respect Catholicism. Find what it is, learn about it, and then make the connections from what the bits and pieces that it has that are true, because they do have some truth. A lot of it too. Every church does. And make it to the connection to the message that you're teaching. As you make that connection to them, they're going to see what they've always known and what their whole existence as far as their family has been based on, and showing them what it is that you need without having to really, because a lot of them get offended when you just say like, that was wrong and this is right. And they're just like, you can't tell me my whole family line, my whole existence has been a lie and wrong, and they get offended, unfortunately. But that's not, it's not that they are, and it's not, they don't even, a lot of them don't even practice Catholicism. They will tell you right up, I only go on Christmas and on Easter. Everyone you meet will pretty much tell you that. But that doesn't mean that they don't defend it, because they're very loyal and amazing people. But the thing is, we can also show them that they can have so much more from what they think they can believe in, as an extension to what they already know and what the Catholic Church has been able to teach them with their efforts in trying to really spread their message as well. And it's something that you have to be careful with. That's also one thing they really appreciate, and I bet you a lot of countries appreciate this as well, is really seeing the effort of you blending in with what they do. And some of the key things will be talking with your hands. It's like I guess maybe I've done it in the video. I'm not if you knows, but like you use your hands a lot, or you need to make sure you have some emotion in you. You can't just be thinking you can just have a conversation. There's going to be some loud moments. There's going to be some laughing. There's going to be some serious moments. There's going to be crazy hand movements everywhere. You're going to get, a full spectrum of what emotion can really provide in a conversation when you're speaking to several different Italians. And as you try to really take in like everything they express, which is difficult because there's so much that comes out of. They can get really hyped up really fast, or like really sad, or they really portray on the outside what they're feeling, and it can be overwhelming sometimes because a lot of the missionaries get tired of it because it's so much to take in and it's not what you're used to. But as you try to really understand it, you'll be able to reciprocate that, and not only will you be able to convey your message, it will first create a connection of them of trusting you as someone who's respected them as a people. And really make that connection and that delivery of your message a lot better. Which, on that note, the most effective way that we found in our mission in order to convey the message of the gospel of Jesus Christ to the people of Italy was to listen. That's probably the biggest thing. They will tell you so much in so little time because they just love to talk and just tell you so many things. But there usually is going to be a key factor in every conversation. I think one of the ways that I realized it was that when they talk, they always come back to a certain thing that's just the main thing of their conversation, but they always say it over and over and over again, vocally, and usually in the same words. And so if you listen, you'll be able to use that and convert it over with the same kind of enthusiasm. As far as culture, as far as like anything else I can think about culture, you have to go in with passion. I think the country is built around passion. Knowing that you're going to have some intense moments, you're going to think someone's mad at you with their loud voice, but they're not at all. They're not mad at you. They're not yelling at you. It's just the way they express themselves. A lot of people have difficulty thinking that people are trying to be rude to them, to the missionary, like the person is being rude to you, but they're not. I mean, and in fact, it could be the complete opposite. They're just excited, and they express that in their voice. They express it in their hands. They're going to be a little touchy. They like touching your arm. You're going to have the awkward experiences of grandmothers or older ladies coming up and kissing you on the cheek all the time. You have to be careful with the younger women because it's part of the culture where you give a kiss of either hello and goodbye. But you can definitely control that. As far as the old ladies, you can't. If there's anyone older than like 50 years old, you have no power into saying what they can do or what they can't do. They will give you a kiss if they want you, or they will stop and talk, or they won't talk. Definitely shoot for younger because they're wonderful. But like most of the Italians in the church told us, it's just they are so, because of the way they live, they're so set in their ways, and they just have everything nailed down that's just the way they are. But it's wonderful. They're so great. I don't know. I think for the most part, culture is just, that's, if you can just think about passion and just being, with that, going along with that, being ready for some roller coaster of, emotions as far as like with the people. That's pretty much, if you want to be effective and really relaying your message, being short and sweet, but then listening. Just a lot of listening, I think. I don't know.
One thing I love about Italian culture that makes me believe that they are like really prepared to hear the gospel is the focus on the family. The family's huge there. I've never met more mama's boys in my life as I have in Italy, which is a fantastic thing. Like the Italian men just like love their mothers to death, and I think it's more the Italian mothers love their kids to death too, because if it was their choice, they'd have their kids live with them until they were 40. But there's just such a great focus on the family. I mean, no matter where you are, Sunday after church, you go eat lunch with your family. That's what it is. And they just love each other and they keep in contact. There's broken families aren't as common, you know? It's like families stay together there, which I think is great. So it makes our message really easy to spread, because when we talk about the family, people understand. People say, oh yeah, like I want to be with my family forever. I love being with them now. Yeah, we fight all the time because we're Italian, but like I want to be with them forever, you know? And that's my favorite thing about Italian culture. I think something else is that they definitely think a lot about what they do, but they're really loud about it, you know? So they think a lot about what they do, but they also say it out loud. Italians don't mince words. They're bold, and they'll tell you what they think. It's not like they shy away from saying anything. When you tell them on the street about the Book of Mormon or Joseph Smith, they'll tell you if they think it's weird right off the bat. They'll just be like, hey, like, that's weird. And I just love that about them. It's like there's no trying to worry about whether to please people or not, you know? They just say what's on their mind. And I think it makes the society actually work pretty well there, you know? Because people are clear with their intentions, and you know when someone's sincere. And I love that about Italians. It's like they're short, and that's like but in a good way, you know?